Welcome back. Today we're working on a Volt. Yeah, let me show you. It's been in an accident. Hit a deer. Dear me. Yeah, that's my humor. So this is the old bumper cover. Whoops, sorry. This is the old bumper cover. It's kind of messed up. He did pick up a new bumper cover. I'm gonna swing you around. We're gonna look at a few things, and I'm gonna get started putting this back together. But I wanted to show you this. So this is the bumper cover he got from a scrap yard, and it didn't have an emblem, and that one didn't have an emblem. So what I did is I took the glue all off the back of the sticker part. The emblem fell off. So this is just a black plastic backing plate. I'll get you in closer. And all I did was just rattle can spray paint it with some silver wheel paint. So now when you look at it, it's wrong. We're just putting this back together on the cheap, but it doesn't catch your eye. It's the same color as my paint. It's pretty much blends in with theirs. So it's just something that we're walking by a car, it ain't your car. Well, you're probably not even looking at it. It wouldn't draw your eye. Like, sorry, like this would draw your eye. You know, this missing right here, and it'll catch dirt all in there and got holes in there. So I thought the other one looked better. But I'm going to get you in closer and show you that even though at a distance it looks just fine, as you get closer to it, you realize that it's just plastic. It's just a piece of, I can't tell what you're looking at. Yeah, you can see it. Just the plastic I spray painted. I did use a little silicone and just glued it in. It'll dry in the next hour or two and we'll be fine. I took the bottom skid plate cover, what do you want to call it, off. We'll call it the new one, the replacement. Because the one over here, then I can sit you still. The one over here is already attached to the car, and I don't have to jack it up. It's actually in better shape than the other one. They both have one of these tabs broke off, but that one's gouged out here. You wouldn't see either one. They're both fine. My point is all these screws going to the bottom to hold this up. And I don't feel like jacking up and getting under there and all that. This skid plate's just fine. It'll be a lot easier to put it together. And that's what it's all about. Get it together. Don't cause yourself any more work than you have to. So I'm going to get started right here. I'll get you a little better angle and I'll try and stay out of your way is what I'm getting at. The first thing is on most cars, the condenser, the air conditioning part is always on the foremost position because it needs the most cooling so you can feel cool in the car. It's just how they do them. But this is a Volt. It's an electric car, gas over electric, so it's a hybrid plug-in at that. But they put the computer cooling radiator on the the foremost, the frontest most, and that's the one that got damaged. Kind of shut the car down because if you can't cool your electronics, they're not going to work. They shut down. There's safeties and stuff. So we don't have to monkey with air conditioning. That's kind of a bonus. And I got to quit saying new. This is the replacement. Now, I don't know why it came with a hose, so I'll just kind of gauge which hose is better, which is easier for me. But we got to sneak this in here. This just takes a lot of time because I'm going to be gentle and make sure my wires all go back right and I don't break something else. All we're doing, we talk about body shop work and all that, all I'm doing is part swapping. That's all this is. You know, I'm not going to have to paint anything. I might do some touch up on a couple of those spots so they don't rust. But to the best of my understanding, the hood is aluminum. So that's not an issue. Now, this pipe that they left on theirs goes way up inside here and it goes on this overflow, which was broke loose and I've already attached it before you guys got here. So rather than to use theirs and fish my arm back in there, I'll take it apart and, well, they already pulled the clip off it anyway. And I will use the old one. We're going to call that the original one. It's got an O-ring in there, so you just kind of wiggle, and that's probably what they did. They left it on so they wouldn't break it. I'm almost quite sure of it. I'd rather send it with you, and then when you break it. I remember the other one was a little firm on this particular spot. So I'm just taking a pair of pliers with the mouth open on them, and just prying ever so gently against the radiator, if that's what you want to call it, and just kind of wiggle it. So a little pressure. plastic. Got to be gentle, folks. Be gentle with her. Go easy. We'll give her some other time. Yep, just no ring in there. Now I'm not gonna have everything out here prepared because I don't know what I'm gonna run into. But before I put the new hose on, I want to wipe that off with a piece of paper towel. Make sure it's good and clean. Again, I'm not Mr. Edit, so we're just gonna do whatever runs a half hour on this. I'll show you what I'm gonna do, and then I'll give you a picture of it at the end. I've got everything pretty close here in the shop, so even though you don't see me, just grab a paper towel and I'll be back in 2 seconds. Wipe that off and get that front radiator in there. This is details I do. I don't know if a body shop really spends the time, but I found it's probably worth it. You clean this out, probably unnecessary, but the one chance in 100 that it helps you put it back together without leaks. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm not gonna take that chance. All right, now we can slide that in the next little step. These just have slide tabs at the bottom, and they just slide into their spot, and then the top will bolt in. But we want to kind of get the hoses in the right. I wiped that one off in the right location. That one's a little cruddy. Let's wipe that one down. I say cruddy, just got road grime and dirt and stuff on it. Likely not anywhere near the sealing surface, but I'm not going to take a chance. It shows up later. I said it. You might not have heard me. I was whispering to myself. I'll take care of that. I'll do that wire later. Yeah, it's a different car. It's not, the 67 to 72 trucks, but it's the same me. All right, that one's popped in. Might as well pop this one on. Should just go right on. If they don't go on easily, you can use some kind of lubricant that you like. I usually go with the antifreeze that's appropriate for the radiator as lubricant. That way everything's designed to work with that particular chemistry. Yeah, it's silly, I'm sure. There we go. So this is just a matter of doing what all mechanics do. Did I ever tell you I'm not a mechanic? Yeah, you guys know that by now. But you just run back and forth here, and I could have marked all these, what screws where, but it just takes a minute to figure it out again. And if you got the wrong one and it works, then it's the right one. Yeah, that's not it. I'm sure those are screws because that radiator needs to stay in place. It's important. It's got a bigger head on it, so you can look for the bigger headed ones. It's not one of them, is it? Probably. Well, most definitely. And I could lube those, but they're just going into a clip. I probably should. But the only reason they're ever going to come out again is I didn't put them together. Not one on each side because of that. The only time it's coming apart again is the next time it gets wrecked. And these will likely all be broken next time anyway. So there was putting a radiator in. Piece of cake, right? I'll tighten that down. Will not bother you. Now these are neat little clips I use to hold these. Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna call them. I gotta figure out how they go on there. I don't work on many volts, but these clips just slide through to hold them from popping off. There's not really much of a seal to them, so to speak. Just slide right in there. I should get you up close and show you because it's kind of neat. Hard to believe they do anything because when they're all the way on, they're kind of loose. But now you can't pull that off. So they're just a horseshoe clamp. GM's fancy design horseshoe clamp. And they got like the ends are bent up on them a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. There you go, right there. And you just slide them on and they clip. It's not really that complicated. I'm trying to remember how you slid them off and they'll go right back on, but it's pretty intuitive, quite honestly. They didn't do this for my benefit. All these designs they do are for manufacturing. How easy can it be for them to put these together? Now, I know there's a body shop guy out there right now who's yelling at me saying, "You're a dummy." I think you can put them clips on before you put it together, and that would be how the factory does it. And I think you can just slap them on and they lock automatically. All about getting down the line as quick as you can. Paying attention all the time, even when I'm talking to you guys. What looks right? What looks wrong? Why does something look funny? What looks funny? And I noticed this bracket. I'd never noticed before, but sitting here right now, I didn't take the screw out because it broke on the headlight. But that bracket is bent, and you can double check yourself by looking at the opposite side. Yeah, I think that one's bent too. But this one's forward, and that one over there is back. So we might have to do some. Oh, that's just flimsy. Never mind. Did you see how easy that bent? I just put my thumb on there and away it went. So those are definitely bent, but it doesn't look like that's going to be too much trouble to fix. A lot of these brackets can be ultra thin because they're really only there to keep it from going this way, not this way. GM knows how to be cheap. They're really good at it. We'll leave it at that. All right. Well, this is what I do. Just keep plugging things together. Make sure everything's got its clips. Make sure all the sensors are hooked up. Tighten everything as you go so you don't forget. You got a sensor over here. Yep, there's a sensor wire. I don't see the sensor, but I remember it was on there. So I told him it's pretty cool they gave you the new sensor. Not, I don't see it. I know it's over here. What in the world? Well, when in doubt, look at the old one, which I don't know where it's at. Should be sitting right here, but here it's over here. Sometimes manufacturers change these things. I don't believe there goes the antifreeze. I don't believe they would on this, but so the stickers are the same. No sensor on this side. The sensor's at the top of this side, so it's the same radiator. You got the right one. I don't know why I doubted that, but it's funny that I got a sensor over here that there's no way it's going to the other side, so there must be something else I don't know. That probably goes down to the fog lights or something. But I got a sensor over here, and that light likely is hanging here somewhere. See, right there. Found it. Found it. I got it. All right, I know this is going to get boring eventually. You guys aren't going to watch this whole thing because it's just find a clip, put it back where it goes, or I say clip, sensor and a wire, and plug it in, make sure it's not bent, make sure the ends aren't broke off of it, get it clipped in good. Make sure it's not rubbing on anything. GM's real big on these new wire ties with the Christmas tree attached to them. Quite honestly, I like them. Keeps wires from rubbing on stuff. It's a little taut, but that's not our issue. I'm going to continue on. I probably won't bore you guys through this whole thing. You know, every car is different. I haven't worked on these, so I just kind of got to figure it out as I go. And that's what I want you guys to know. When you're working on these things and you've never done it and you think, well, I'm not a mechanic either. That Darren guy, he ain't no mechanic. He does some things kind of half-ass. I'll say it. Yeah, I do. It happens. But when you're doing your thing, you can just realize that's what a lot of us do anyway. Figure it out. Go slow, because the more faster you get, the more behind you get. The more faster you go, the more behind you get. I'm an old guy. I like to come up with all these old phrases and share them with you. I'm running short though. I can't because I have a good memory. But what goes next? I think the bumper cover, but it seems too easy. Got all this full. We don't have to get back in here for nothing. Let's get to it. I'm gonna grab it right now. I can't believe I knew it's gonna be an easy job, but I didn't think it was gonna be that easy. All right. Great. Wonderful. So this came from a wrecking yard, and there's Scotch locks on it. And I ain't one of these guys that say you got to do everything my way. I'm not a hater of all this stuff. When I see Scotch locks, that is usually not good stuff. And this one has some kind of diode down here. That's not making me happy. So I'm going to spend a little time, get a roll of electrical tape, and I don't know, at least try to keep the water out of this garbage. Yeah, it's not right, but I'm not pulling the whole harness because my bet is the owner told me that the lights on these cars were horrible. So he went out and bought LED headlights so you could see better. And it appears that whoever owned this before him went and got LED marker lights too, or fog lights. So that's what we're dealing with down there. I'm going to have to get some electrical tape and some zip ties and monkey with that. But you see, we're already at this point. I'll show you a picture when I'm done, but you just start sliding this stuff on, trying to figure out how you're going to reach in and screw everything, clip everything back together. And I do have a brace that's missing. There we go. Now I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to set this aside so I can deal with Scotch locks. That's great. And then the next part I'm going to do, and I'll let you guys go. Yeah, I did that for your humor. This is a pretty flimsy piece of metal, but all it's here for is a hook onto your core support and hold the top of that bumper cover from fading in, caving in. It has a little fancy cover, but this got some twist to it. That's gonna have to go in the shop and be beat on and get all this wavy out of it. You see that right there, how bad that is. Both sides, a lot of play work. It's pretty soft metal. You can almost do it with your hands. But I'm gonna take it in on the anvil and get it nice and crisp. So there's what I'm doing today. Nothing too exciting, people. I mean, I just thought it's something different you might want to look at real quick. You bored and got nothing to do? Thought you want to hear my goofy voice? This is something else I find interesting. This looks like wire loom, but it's a closed wire loom. What I mean is there's no seam where you can slide the wires in. It's hollow. And this is what they use for hoses now. Plastic loom. You just drop it down there like that and it slips right on this overflow. They got little bumps built right on top of the overflow nipple. And as you put it on, you can hear them clicking. Maybe you can, I'll put my microphone down there. Listen. And it just stays on. No clamp, no rubber. Whatever we can do to be cheap. All right, there it is. That's all I got. I'm just going to start putting plastic back together, plugging the headlights in. It should be done. Oh, we do have to switch the hood on it, though. But again, it's 4 bolts. That's it. 2 on each side. Get somebody to help you, square it in there, get your lines as close as you can, and you're done. Bob's your uncle. All right, that's it. That's all you get. We'll see you next week.